And then don't even get me started on crunch berries. They're not organic. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So my grandmother, you know, she just totally walked in the snow 500 miles with no shoes on, blah, all that stuff. And she's all like, you kids had everything. Okay, we had pet rocks and dolls that pooped Jell-O. That's not really, you had everything. So my kids wanted a we, and I took the grandmother approach. You know, I want a you, as in, you go outside. Then I had to be reminded by my dad. He's like, you kids, you had Pong. Do you remember Pong? Bing! Bing! 1-0. And then, like, the next year, Super Pong came out. And we were stoked, you know? Super Pong! We got Super Pong! And it was like, pew pew! And that was it. So I'm like, alright, fine, we'll get the Wii. It's so weird. And so then we couldn't get one. We could have gotten illegal drugs easier. I mean, we went everywhere. Poor Brian over there. He's like, so we finally get one, and we have to be all, you know, we like put it in the cart, and then pretty soon, all the customers have turned into the Wii police. They are totally like, what do you got in there? I see Wii. What do you got in there? Who is it? Oh, it's not even my cart. It's not my Wii, man. We were just pushing the cart by. Somebody threw the Wii in there. I don't know. It's not even my cart. Well, whose cart is it? My boyfriend's. Well, who's this guy right here? My husband. So it just opens up a whole new rash of questions. Like, tonight I'm thinking, you know, the whole Wii thing, it's just like Elmer Fudd or something. We have a wiener. That's a whole new language. Wiener. If you play two people remotely, is it a wee? You know, they could have came up with something different, I think, another word for it. It's kind of like the Ford Probe. You know? I used to write commercials for Ford, and they came up with that name, and we were like, no. And they're like, you know, I think women would really, really like this car. It kind of eliminated the need for a stick shift completely. You know? Okay, so that concludes my... No, I'm just kidding. I think it's just about the time to bring up some mamas. So I'm going to try to jumpstart this. We have some storytellers here, and we're going to start off with Thanksgiving. We have a lot of material to get over about Thanksgiving. So I just got to start with a story about our name, because our name is Sturki. And so every year we have to go get our turkey. And the people at New Seasons think this is so hilarious. So I go to pick it up, and then it's too small, and I say, well, I have to get a bigger turkey for Mr. Sturki. So, okay, the guy, like, begs me, please, can I say it over the loudspeaker? You know, I'm like, all right. I mean, just so funny. Yeah, so that's my story. So this year I got a ham. Because I'm kind of over, you know, that. Oh yeah, so tonight's show is called Holiday Horrors, not horse. I didn't pick the right word. Okay, so our first mom is TV's Julie Feely. We call her the professional laugher. You'll find out really soon, because somebody funny will get up here and, you know, you'll know. So I just got to read you her bio, because it's crazy. Okay. Julie Feely is from the Halloween capital of the world. Did you know there was a Halloween capital?
I did.
Okay, she was the runner-up in the Miss Pumpkin pageant. How do you not get first place in the Miss Pumpkin pageant?
I didn't know the population of the city.
There was a quiz?
There was.
There was a pumpkin quiz. That is so scary. Okay, so you probably have seen her on TV before the Lawrence Welk show. She raises money for OPB, and she totally rocks. And when not singing with the Welkies, that's what they call them now, Welkies?
They do.
Oh my God.
Still rock on.
She lives on the east side with her kids and her husband. Get up here.
Yeah, Julie!
Oh, and Julie's title, Thanksgiving from Hell.
I think that works. Oh, I can just stare into the kitchen and not look at anybody and feel nervous. Well, Thanksgiving. You know, I have to say there's a lot of holidays that I like and a lot of holidays that I don't like. Valentine's Day, hate. But that's a whole other show, and if Jackie invites me back, I'll tell you that story. But Thanksgiving is got to be the best holiday there is because it's all about food. There's no religion. There's no presents. There's no expectation your husband's going to buy you roses or chocolate or anything like that. There's no staying up late to watch fireworks and get eaten by mosquitoes. In fact, it's just about food, and I love that. So every year we just get very excited about Thanksgiving. And one year, even the best thing was that we were invited to somebody else's house. So that means I don't even have to cook. I can just go eat and eat and eat and eat. So we're invited to this really great family that we have here in town, and they're hip and cool, and they live in a townhouse in Northeast Portland, and they don't have kids that are my age kids. I'm the only one who has a 5-year-old, and they all have grown-up people around the house, and so they said, come on over. So we're like, okay, well, great. So we show up, and my friend's a glass artist. If you can imagine bringing a 4-year-old boy over to a lovely town home of somebody who's a glass artist. I also have a 13-year-old daughter. And, you know, I wasn't worried about her. She wasn't going to break anything. But I spent a good hour and a half just, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Don't run. Don't play the piano. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't be yourself. Just be invisible. Just do anything, but don't touch anything. So, it's finally dinner time. Thank God it is dinner time. We can just sit and eat, my favorite part of Thanksgiving. And to my shock and awe, my son is so well behaved. He just sits and eats. And he eats and he eats, and I'm thinking, this is so nice. We're just having a great conversation. And across the table, there are 20 people in this townhouse at this really long table. And it is set like you can't imagine. Spode, china, the finest of finest table linens. I mean, it is beautiful, and candles, and it's great. My son is being behaved. It was like, this is heaven. Across the table from me are Tom and Richard. They're a couple that Jenna's known for years and years and years, and they don't have family in town, so they're there, and we're having a lovely conversation with Tom and Richard. They don't have kids. Nobody there has kids but me. I'm thinking, this is almost like I feel like a real person. So we finished dinner. My son's being so good. I'm like, oh, we got through this great holiday. And all of a sudden, it happens. The worst you could imagine at a food holiday. It starts small and erupts into the largest, hugest vomiting you could ever imagine. All over the Spode. Over Tom, over Richard, over the rest of their, they were just going to mop up that little bit of gravy. I couldn't believe it. It was so bad. And I thought, I can't handle this. I think I'm going to throw up. My husband is shrieking, help me, help me. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry. Tom and Richard handled it pretty well. I think Tom got up and ran to the next room, but Richard was pretty good about the whole thing. My son, poor little guy. He ate so much.